organization. So I think we have another poll question, something to do with minimizing risk. Is everybody familiar with ransomware? I recall a couple of instances a few years ago. We got a phone call from a client that we supported, but they weren't a regular client, and they had been hit by what was probably one of the first instances of ransomware. They couldn't open any documents anymore. We went in and looked at it and went, wow, this is crazy. I mean, we'd heard about it, but we hadn't seen it in real life. And there was nobody really watching anything. It was just, they had their backups running, and they were lucky because backups tend to fail if they're not monitored, but they were working great, and we were able to go in there and recover them. A few years later, one of our clients called us up and said, hey, I've got a colleague who is in trouble. And I said, you guys could probably help him out. And it turned out it was an eye clinic up in Tacoma, and they'd been hit by ransomware. Someone in their organization went to their Yahoo page and opened up an email, and that had a malicious payload, and it encrypted their network. And their IT guy didn't move their backups when they had made some changes, and they had no backup for 10 months. And so they paid the ransom, and it took them 9 days. They were down for 9 days. Problem was they had some scheduling software that was hosted in the cloud, but they had no patient history. So as their patients were coming in, they had to say, you know, I don't really remember what we talked about the last time you were here. So, but they were lucky. They managed to get back by paying the ransom, and they got the key, and they were able to decrypt it. So this is probably this is the worst I've seen in 15 years in IT over the last 2 years, is this ransomware. I think it's something on the order of $200 million a quarter in 2016 in ransoms paid. And so that, who knows what the impact was to the businesses that had that. So, okay, we have one more person than last time. We've been lucky so far. We just sorted from backups, countermeasures. Well, that's good. I'm glad nobody had to threaten the extortionists in Russia with Liam Neeson.
I think this points to how much is out there. The fact that 25% of this room has been hit with ransomware.
Yeah. I've read somewhere it's 40% of every business has dealt with it in one way or another. So this is a key focus for us in this year in particular, is to set up a security platform that allows us to really mitigate this risk. So it's just not enough anymore to have antivirus. You've got to have, we always say belt and suspenders, but we have probably 6 or 7 security platforms that are all kind of interrelated from different vendors that we put together to help us prevent or mitigate ransomware in particular, which is especially devastating.